live. Let's make sure. Let's make sure we are live. Come on now. Let's make sure we are live. Yes, it's propagationing. A little bit of propagation. A little bit of propagation. Propagation. On the UB tubes. A little bit of propagation. We're live. We're live on the YouTubes. Right there. Okay, we are live on the YouTubes. Yes, we are live on the X.com. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. We are live on the Twitch. Good. All right. Let's just get all the ads out, ready to go. Boom. All right. Boom. Boom. All right. Boom right there. All right. And boom right there. Okay. Everything should be all set up, all copaesthetic. Perfection. Yes. All right. Let me make sure everything's all set here. All right. All right. All right. Okay. All right. There we go. Get everything all set up here. Boom. Same thing over here. Boom, right there. All right, all right. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get this started. All right. What's up, guys? It's Double Nix, and welcome to another episode of Microcap Mornings. I am your host with the most. They call me DBL Nix in the house, aka the Rainmaker. And I am here with the lovely Serengeti specialist herself. She likes to hang around the tall weeds, the high trees, the low seas, hitting them high knees. Sometimes she likes 2 cups of coffee. Other times she likes to jet ski. Sometimes she likes to get shot out the cannon and she goes wee. Other times she likes to go to Arby's and watch videos of puppies and kitties. Other times she likes to go and, party in the stock market and find all them ABCDs. And other times she likes to steal my lo mein. We call her Davia Moms. Hey! All right. So that's what we got going on, ladies and gentlemen. That is what we got going on. And ladies and gentlemen, before we begin, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as well as ring that bell icon to stay notified when new videos are uploaded. And remember to share, because sharing is caring, ladies and gentlemen. Sharing is caring. And of course, if you want access to our private Discord, link to join us in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section. So be sure to check that out, because we pick a lot of baggers a lot of times. We are just made different. And the early bird gets the cash, the moolah, the loot, the cashola, the big bucks, I tell you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. So that's what we got going on today. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get started. Let's get started right here. All right. So, for starters, we got ENGN. ENGN moved up quite a bit, moved up pretty high, around, let's see, over here, 79%. ENGN had a nice little price spike earlier in the day, ENGN, but currently right now, it's not looking schmexy. It is falling below the VWAP, not looking too schmexy right now, but ENGN did have a nice move all the way upward over here. Bop, right here. All right. And has to break a pennant right over Mya, but also really has to break that VWAP, because right now it's not looking too schmexy. It was a bit overbought in the RSI over here. Not too Not overbought now, but it was overbought in the RSI here. So we got that going on right there. That is what we got going on. Let's see what else we got. All right, let's take a look over here. ENGN. ENGN needs to break the pennant and the VWAPA for it to be somewhat schmexy to mya. Let's take a look at some other stonks over here. Let's take a look at some other stonks. Let's take a look at MSPR. MSPR. All right, MSPR currently not looking too schmexy as of now. Fell below the VWAP a little bit, and now it's kind of just consolidating below it. Maybe it's testing it right now. Try to test that VWAP, and we'll see what happens there. We shall see what happens with this. We shall see if it tries to test that VWAP. Let's see. But right now, it's got to break this pennant right over here for it to be so much maxi to mya. But that's what we got going on right there. So MSPR, as of now, needs to break above the VWAP. It needs to break above the pennant. MSPR needs to break the pennant and the VWAPA for it to be somewhat schmexy to mya, because right now it's doing that. It was leaning towards being overbought, but pretty much throughout, all in all, it's been rather indifferent on the RSI. It's been rather just not making, it's been indecisive really on the RSI. So as of now, we'll see what happens. It's tested the VWAP on a couple of occasions, MSPR, but we'll see what happens here. We shall see what happens. CYCU. Let's see how CYCU is doing. CYCU currently below the VWAP right now, needs to break this little downtrend right over mya, boom, for it to be so much maxi to mya. But right now it is currently below the VWAP, needs to break the downtrend and the VWAP for it to be so much maxi to mya. CYCU needs to break the downtrend and the VWAP for it to be so much maxi to mya. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Somebody requested ONDS. ONDS. Let's take a look at ONDS, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, and let's get a share party going, by the way. Let's get to 200. Let's get to 200, ladies and gentlemen. ONDS up 0.17%. Very, very choppy. Currently moving up. Well, moved down, actually. It moved up a little bit on some very indecisive wicks over here, but pretty much is now moving down. So right now, it needs to really hold above the VWAP for it to be so much maxi to me. It needs to hold above the VWAP, but it doesn't look like it has much in terms of the volume department. It doesn't look like it has much in the volume department. It does have a conference call scheduled in 2 days at 8:30 a.m., and the Q3 earnings are confirmed in 2 days, so they got that going on. But ONDS so far not looking too schmexy right now. ONDS needs volume to stay above the VWAPA. So there we go. That's what we got going on right there. That is what we got going on. What else we got? Somebody requested NBIS. NBIS. Let's take a look at NBIS. Ooh, not looking too good. I mean, yeah, it's looking all right now because it did move up a little bit, but it's up 5%. It's not looking too schmexy. All right. Had a lot of indecisive wicks before. Now pretty much is just making a pennant right here. Needs to break this pennant for it to be somewhat schmexy to mya. But right now it fell below the VWAP. It fell below the RSI. Became oversold. Climbed back up a little bit right over here. And then just basically made a bit of a pennant over here. Really needs some volume because NBIS right now needs to break the pennant. Needs to break the pennant, right? And needs to hold above that VWAP right now. So it needs to hold above that VWAP. So it's not looking too schmexy right now. Not looking too schmexy. All right, so you got that going on right there. That is what we got going on. All right. So there we go. There we go. All right. Let's see what else we got here. What else we got? So NBIS not looking too good. Not looking too good. NUAI. Let's take a look at NUAI. NUAI currently very, very choppy. Not a lot of volume. Not looking good at all. fell below the VWAP, needs volume, just needs volume. That's the best way I could just describe this. Needs volume. All right. NUAI needs volume because right now it's kind of looking trash right now. Kind of looking trash. Yes, Doc requested GLTO. GLTO, let's take a look. Is this a hold? I can't give you stock advice as for that. I can't give you stock advice there. But I can take a look at it for you. So right now, GLTO is up 7% right now. Up 7%, but it is below the VWAP right over here. It is leaning towards being oversold in the RSI. So potentially, if it's got volume on it, it could potentially maybe curl. But right now, it's got over here a bit of a descending wedge, possible bull pattern, maybe if it can curl, but it needs some volume to do that. So GLTO needs volume to actually curl up, and it needs to break this VWAP right over here. I'm going to give it some levels as well. Going to give it some levels over here. So let's get this over here, bot right there. All right. And bot right there. Okay. All right. And right now, currently, it has to hold above 1761, has to break through 1931, 2051, 2170, 2318, and 2557. Those are all the resistance points for it. However, it also needs to break through another resistance point, which is the VWAP at $20.65. So it's got a ways to go before it can really be somewhat interesting. But right now, it's got a bit of a descending wedge, maybe. Could it potentially become a bull reversal? Maybe if it's got volume, but right now it really needs to break through 2 resistance points, 1 VWAP, and then 3 more resistance points for it to really be full on interesting to me. Otherwise, you know what I mean? So GLTO, I mean, it did have a nice run a while back, but you know, it had a nice run yesterday, but as of now, we'll see what happens. GLTO needs volume to break the descending wedge and the VWAP. All right, but right now it's leaning towards being oversold in the RSI, so we'll see what happens there. We shall see what happens. All right. CCCF wants to see TURB. Let's take a look at TURB then. TURB, let's take a look at TURB. Oh. Yeah. Give me 1 second. I'm just doing turbo though. So currently, right now with this stock, TURB up 61%. Called it earlier in the morning, but right now with TURB, it's currently on the uptrend a little bit. Right now, a little bit choppy around this point in time, but it is moving upward. It is leaning towards being overbought, though. Bless you, by the way. All right, it is leaning towards being, overbought on the RSI, but it is moving upward. Has a bit of a top tail, though. We don't like the top tails. We like the bottom tails. So we got that going on right there. That is what we got going on. Let's get some support and resistance lines right over here. Boom, right there. So we got support at 387, has resistance at 429, so has to break that 429 mark for it to really be interesting to me. But right now, it's basically out of hold above 387, break through 429, and remain friends with the trend. Currently above the VWAP as well, so we got that going on right there. 9 EMA is still trying to catch up with the VWAP, though, so we'll see what happens there. But as of now, looking okay. Looking okay right now. TURB needs to remain friends with the trend. TURB. All right. Someone requested MSPR. MSPR, will it go to $1? Right, let's take a look and see right now. As of now, MSPR is 56 cents. So, let's see about dollar. We'll see about the dollar part. Let's see. Yeah, no way to. Yeah, there's no way to predict that. No real way to predict that. So I'm just gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna do the key levels right here. So we got this over here. All right. The highest it's hit so far is 65 cents. You want $1. $1 is like all the way up here. Hold on one second. Let me get this right over. Yeah. That's where the dollar mark is right there. So it would have to really break through here for it to be somewhat interesting. But right now, it's currently all the way down here. So if it could break $1, I'd love to see it. I would love to see it. But right now, MSPR currently is below that area. It has to break through a resistance at 57 cents and another resistance at 65 cents. And then after that, chances are good, a lot more resistances before it can get to $1. So, yeesh. If you want to go all the way here and make it bigger, it's got to break through 65 here, has to break through 73, then 83, then it would have to break through $1. And it's got a ways to go. It's got a ways to go before it could even get to $1. We'll see. We shall see, but right now, MSPR still needs to break that pennant. As of now, MSPR needs to break the pennant for it to be so much Mexi to Mia is up 76%. So I am rooting for it. Hopefully, I hope it gets to $1. But, you know, it's got that going on right there. Why is there a 76% pre-market jump today? Let's see what goes on here. Well, let's see. Let's take a look and see if there's any news on it. All right, so MSPR as of now does not have any real news pertaining to it. But it does have some unconfirmed earnings, Q3 earnings in 14 days from now. So, I mean, there's that. But as of now, there's no real reason why it's moving up like that. No real reason right now. So, we'll have to see what goes down there. We'll have to see what goes down. But right now, it's currently one of those things where it's basically, it just has to break through the VWAP, break through the pennant, and then start climbing its way on up on some volume. I don't know why it's currently up 76%. There's no real reason for it. There's no rhyme or reason for it. Sometimes they just do that. So we'll see what goes on there. We'll see what goes on. But right now they have Q3 earnings in 14 days. That's really unconfirmed right now. So we'll see what happens there. But as of now, that's pretty much what we got for MSPR. MSPR currently up 56 or 55 cents right now. So 74%. Let's see. All right, so that's what we got going on right there. That is what we got going on. We'll see what happens. We shall see what happens. QNRX. Let's take a look at QNRX. QNRX moved up on low volume right here. QNRX was moving up on some low volume right there. So it has news. Yeah, it has news, but the volume is not there at all. So QNRX.
China pharmaceutical company.
Yeah, oh, that explains a lot. Yep, it's 74% up, 76% up. QNRX, 70%, 76% up. Very choppy. Moving up on low volume. Needs volume for it to be so much Mexi to Mia. Is it a good hold for 500 or should I sell it today? I can't give you stock advice. So do your own due diligence on that one, but I can't give you any stock advice there. I don't do that stuff. All right. Yeah, we don't do stock advice. Anyways, so as of now, QNRX is one of those stonks that it's moving up. It is moving up. It's up 84% right now. 84%. So there we go. I'm gonna keep an eye on it real quick. I am gonna keep an eye on it because it just shot up like a rocket. Again, needs more volume for it to be somewhat interesting to Mya, but otherwise it's just meh. You know what I mean? Meh. All right. Let me get some support and resistance lines over here. Let's get some support and resistance lines right over. Mya. All right. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just going to go grab some water real quick. I'm going to grab some water. Let's get a share party going. Let's get to 500. 500, ladies and gentlemen. Come on now. Let me get to 500. Come on now. All right. I'll be right back. I'm just going to get something to drink real quick. I'll be right back. Need to get some water. All right. Hello, hello, hello. There we go. There we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm back. I'm back, ladies and gentlemen. Just had to get some water. But as of now, let's take a look at BODI. BODI. That one moved up a bit and then kind of went back down. BODI currently, as of now, shot up like a rocket, went back down. Not looking too schmexy right now. Up 20%, up 20%. Let's take a look over here. Let's get some support and resistance lines over here. Boom. All right, let me get that right over here. All right. It's got support at, as of now, $5.63. All right. Resistance at 608, then 653, 709, and 799. Those are all the support and resistance lines right there. Those are all support and resistance lines. Boom. Let's get the A to B, B to C, C to D up here because it is an ABCD, and then basically has a bit of a pennant going on right there. Has a bit of a pennant, needs to break the VWAP and needs to break the primarily needs to break the descending wedge and the VWAP really. So BODI needs to break the descending wedge and the VWAP for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. So that's what we got for BODI. CYCN. How's CYCN doing? CYCN needs to break the downtrend over here. Needs to break that downtrend for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. CYCN needs to break the downtrend and the VWAP. Needs to break the downtrend and the VWAP for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. So that's what we got going on for that one. That is what we got going on for CYCN. Let's get a share party going on, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get to 700. 700, ladies and gentlemen. Come on now. Let's get to 700 right here. All right. Somebody requested MSPR yet again. Let's take a look at MSPR. Let's take a look over here. MSPR currently trying to break above that VWAP right now, testing it a little bit. So we'll see what happens with MSPR. MSPR currently testing the VWAP. MSPR trying to break the pennant and testing the VWAP for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. Needs to break both of those things. Needs to break both of those things for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. Needs to break that VWAP, needs to break that pennant, and then needs to basically kind of move its way on up. And I hope it can get to $1. I hope it can. We'll see what happens, ladies and gentlemen. We shall see what happens. Let's take a look over here. Let's take a look over here. And let's get a share party. Let's get to 700. Let's get to 700, ladies and gentlemen. And remember to check out our 4-day trial for our real-time alerts and scanners for only $9.99. Link to join us in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section. So be sure to check that out. We pick a lot of baggers a lot of times. We are just made different, and the early bird gets the cash, the moolah, the loot, the cashola, the big bucks, I tell you. Yes, sir. All right, somebody requested RGTI. RGTI. Let's see how we're doing here. RGTI. Ooh, down 5%. Not looking schmexy at all. Yeah, needs to break that downtrend and needs to break that VWAP. RGTI. Dropped like a rock. RGTI needs to break the downtrend and the VWAP for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. Let's take a look at ASST. ASST, how's ASST doing? Ooh, still very choppy. Still very choppy, ladies and gentlemen. As of now, needs some volume. ASST needs volume and to break the barcoding, because it is barcoding, and the VWAP. So it needs both of those things to break the barcoding and the VWAP. We'll see what happens. We shall see what happens. All right. As of now, though, yep, ASST, yeah, needs to break that VWAP. It needs to break the barcoding. Let's take a look at BYND. BYND, oh my, yep. A lot of barcoding going on. Take a look over here, ladies and gentlemen. Take a look. We got barcoding right over MIA. All right. And then we got more barcoding over MIA right over BAP. And then BAP right there. All right. And then more barcoding over MIA right over MIA. Boom. And boom right there. So it's got a lot of barcoding. Not very schmexy right now. Needs volume. Has a conference call scheduled for today. So, but it did have some issued weak Q4 guidance. So, got that going on there. BYND needs volume to break the VWAPA and the barcoding, because it's barcoding as well. So needs those two things for it to really be somewhat schmexy to MIA. BYND. All right. Let's get a share party going on. Let's get to 800. 800, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get to 800. Somebody requested open. Open. All right. Let's see how open's doing. All right. Open is currently, all right, moving down a bit, ladies and gentlemen. Moving down just a little bit right there. All right, it's moving down right over there, but it does have a bit of a pennant forming right over there. So we got that going on. Needs to break above that pennant for it to be so much maxi to MIA, and also needs to break that VWAP. So we got that going on right there. So let's see. Open needs to break the VWAP and the pennant for it to be somewhat schmexy to MIA. Right now, that's pretty much all we got going on for open. Open. Let's see what else we got. Let's see what else we got. All right. So, got that going on right there. It needs to break above that pennant, though, because it's currently below the VWAPA. Below the VWAPA. All right. Let's take a look at VSIG. Somebody requested VSIG. Let's take a look at VSIG right here. VCIG. Now, VCIG had a bit of a run. It's been like moving up and like going up and then doing that, right? Did you see that? It just made this big old candle, went back down. Not looking schmexy. Not looking schmexy at all. Very, very sporadic. Very unpredictable. VSIG has been doing stuff like that all morning, ladies and gentlemen. So, as of now, VSIG not very schmexy. Pops and drops quite a bit. It's not a stunk that I personally would be looking at. Doesn't look schmexy at all. Needs to break above this descending wedge and the VWAP, but it's still very, very not schmexy to MIA. So VSIG needs volume to break the descending wedge and VWAP. But honestly, not looking too good. Not looking good, ladies and gentlemen. Not looking good. All right, VSIG. That's all I got to say about it. You know what I mean? All right, NBIS. Let's take a look at NBIS. NBIS, as of now, moving downward a little bit. Needs to break this pennant for it to be somewhat interesting to MIA. But right now, not looking too schmexy. NBIS. NBIS, let's see here. Needs to break the descending wedge for it to be somewhat schmexy to MIA. Has to hold above that VWAP. But right now, it looks like it's kind of going downward a bit. So we'll see what happens, ladies and gentlemen. We shall see what happens. Let's see. All right, let's take a look at another stunk here. Let's take a look at another stunk. Let's see here. Somebody requested KLTR. KLTR. KLTR as of now is up 19%. 19%. Currently, though, needs to break that this little downtrend right over here, honestly. This little downtrend is what it needs to break. ALUR needs to break the downtrend and the VWAP for it to be so much maxi to MIA. ALUR needs to break the downtrend, and the VWAP for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. Let's take a look at ALUR. Somebody requested ALUR. Let's take a look here. ALUR had a price spike and then dropped back down below the VWAP. So right now, currently it is below the VWAP. Not looking too good. Not a lot of volume on this stock right here. Has a conference call scheduled for tomorrow, but an unconfirmed Q3 earnings in 14 days before the market opened. But right now, ALUR is not looking schmexy. Not looking schmexy at all. ALUR needs to break that VWAP low volume as of now. Low volume as of now. Hopefully that changes, but we'll see what happens, ladies and gentlemen. We shall see what happens. Right there, we shall see. We shall see. All right. What other stocks do we have, ladies and gentlemen? Let's see what other stocks we got. Let's see how MSPR is doing. MSPR curled up off that pennant a little bit. Climbing its way on up right now. MSPR has unconfirmed Q3 earnings in 14 days. But as of now, MSPR trying to curl and stay above that uptrend over there. It needs to remain friends with the trend. MSPR curled above the pennant and tried and actually needs to remain friends with the trend. So there we go. There we have it right there. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. So got that going on right there. That is what we got going on. All right. Let's see what else we got here. What else we got? QNRX. Let's see how QNRX is holding up. QNRX currently still trying to remain friends with the trend right now. But right now, it's one of them stocks that's just, you know what I mean? It's up 51% right now. Has to break through 1298, 1414, and then 1601 for it to really be schmaxy to me. But right now, it just needs to remain friends with that trend right there. QNRX still needs to remain friends with the trend. As of now, we shall see what happens. We shall see. All right. So, what are the stonks we got going on here? Let's see here. Somebody requested MSPR once again. MSPR. Let's see. Right now, it's still trying to remain friends with that trend right now, but it's falling below the trend line. So we got that going on right there. That is what we got going on. MSPR needs to remain friends with that trend line, but right now it looks like it's falling below it. MSPR also kind of consolidating right now, so MSPR needs to break that consolidation. MSPR needs to break the consolidation for it to be so much schmexy to me. Right now, we shall see. All right. Somebody requested BODI. Body. BODI. Let's see how BODI is. Up 18%. Needs to break the downtrend, the descending wedge over here. Needs to break this descending wedge and also the VWAP. So BODI still needs to break the descending wedge and the VWAP for it to be so much maxi to me. Yes, sir. All right. Yes, let's share it up. Let's get 1,300. Let's get the 1,300, ladies and gentlemen. Come on now. Let's like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell icon. Yes, sir. All right. Let's see here. All right. Okay. So, as of now, let's take a look at QNRX. QNRX, how's that one going? QNRX back up on the uptrend right now. QNRX back up on the uptrend. Broke through the 1298 resistance line and is now trying to test 1414. QNRX, we'll see what happens there. Curling. QNRX curling upwards. Remains friends with the trend. All right. So we got that going on right there. Boom, right there. All right. What other stonks we got going on here? What other stonks we got? Somebody requested AZTR. 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 Nope. No. Yeah, this needs volume. This needs some serious volume right here. This stock right here needs some serious volume for it to be so much maxi to meh. Right now it's meh. AZTR over here needs to break the. It just needs volume, really. Needs volume. Needs volume desperately for it to be so much maxi to meh. But right now, AZTR not looking too good. Not looking too schmexy. Not looking too schmexy at all. So we got that going on right there. Let's take a look at MSPR. MSPR. All right. MSPR currently needs to remain on the uptrend there. It needs to remain friends with the trend, but right now it's not exactly. It just needs to really. It just formed, honestly. Went up here, right? And basically formed another pennant right over here. So it got a miniature pennant off the pennant right there. That's what we got going on. MSPR needs to break the pennant to remain somewhat schmexy to meh. But right now, not looking too good. Not looking too schmexy. All right, needs to break the pennant. Needs to break the second pennant over here. Yeesh. So we got that going on right there. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let me get some water real quick, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get to 1400. Let's get a share party going on. Share party. Let's get a share party going on. Let's get to IZM. IZM currently below the VWAP right now. Very, very low on volume. IZM not looking too schmexy right now. Needs to break this pennant right over meh. Yeesh. For it to be so much maxi to meh. IZM. Let's see how IZM is doing. Needs to break the pennant and the VWAP. Right now, though, it's not looking too good. Not looking too good. All right. Has FY earnings unconfirmed for its fiscal year earnings unconfirmed for 14 days from now on November 25th. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, did I mention Happy Veterans Day? I never got to say that. I didn't say that, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Veterans Day, ladies and gents. Here's to all the wonderful men and women who fought and gave the ultimate sacrifice for our country. Much love to them. Much love to those guys. All right. Much love to all veterans around. Thank y'all for your service. You guys have been wonderful. You guys are amazing. Very nice people, too. Well, depends on the day. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm messing with you. You guys are amazing. You guys are amazing. For real. But, yeah. Much love for you guys. Much love for the veterans. Much love for the vets, man. Much love for the vets. Yeah. Got quite a few friends of mine who are actually, they are wonderful people, wonderful gentlemen and ladies. Very good. So happy Veterans Day to you guys, by the way. Happy Veterans Day. All right. So let's see what else we got going on here. What else do we have going on right there? Yeesh, let's see. As of now, we got MSPR trying to go back up a little bit. MSPR curling a little bit, curling. So let's see what it does here. Right now, it's still on a bit of an uptrend over here. Needs to really break upward right now. So let's get this back to normal. Okay, let's get this back to normal. Boom, right there. All right, let's get this over here. Let's get the Fibonacci. All right, the support and resistance line. All right, boom, right there. So now really what it has to break through right now is 65 cents. That's what it has to break for MSPR as of now. Currently, though, it is trying to somewhat curl a little bit, somewhat curl, just a teeny tiny bit right now. But we'll see what happens. We shall see what happens here, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, MSPR is not looking too schmexy. Well, it is looking a little bit schmexy. It went up to 91%, but right now it's not looking like it's very viable as of now. Could it potentially continue to go up? Maybe. I hope so. I hope so. I do. Yes, sir. I do. So, let's take a look at some other stonks here. All right. What other stocks do we got here? Let's take a look over here. Oh, we got some requests here. Hold on, let me see. Here. Somebody requested SLAP. All right, SLAP it is. Let's take a look. SLAP. Nothing there for that one. Let's take a look at. Hold on. Somebody requested C. Oh, wait. Nope. Not that one. Actually, yes, they did. They requested CRWV. That's an expensive stock, in my opinion, but I'll take a look at it. CRWV. Let's take a look at it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a looky-loo. All right. So, currently, CRWV is... It moved up right over here. Again, very expensive stock. Not my kind of cup of tea here. All right. But CRWV currently just needs to break this descending wedge here. Really needs to do that, but it's also very expensive. So CRWV, very expensive. Needs to break the descending wedge right there. CRWV needs to break the descending wedge for it to be somewhat schmexy to mya. Yesh. All right, there. All right. So, let's see what else we got. And let's get a share party going on. Let's get to 1700. 1700, ladies and gentlemen. Come on now. Share party. Come on now. Let's get it. Let's get it. Yes, sir. Let's take a look back at open. Someone requested open. They requested open. Open, still trying to break that pennant right now and get past the VWAPA. Still trying to get past it right there. Let me actually get this out of the way currently. All right. And just go boom and boom. All right. Needs to break above the VWAP. Needs to break above the VWAP right now for open. Open needs to break the pennant and the VWAP for it to be so much maxi to mya. Otherwise, it's just Needs to break the VWAPA and the pennant. Yeesh. Needs to break both of those things for it to be so much maxi to mya. But right now, it's Needs to do that, ladies and gentlemen. Needs to do that. Yeesh. All right. Let's see what else we got. What other stonks do we have, ladies and gentlemen? What other stonks do we have? Let's see what else we got here. Somebody requested... Oh, hold on. Somebody requested RYM. RYM, a little bit pricey, $30, but we could do it. Let's take a look. RYM down 3%, needs a lot of volume. Not looking too schmexy right now. RYM needs volume to remain somewhat schmexy to meow, but right now it's meh. Shub asks for AIII. Is that a stock? Let me see. AIII. No. AIIO, excuse me. AIO. Okay, there we go. Ayo. Okay, there we go. My bad. All right. I mean, it's called Ayo. All right, got A to B, B to C, C to D going on there. All right, has a bit of a descending wedge going on as well. A little bit. Needs to break above that VWAP. Very, very low volume as of now. So AIO needs to break the descending wedge and the VWAP, but needs some volume. Needs volume to do that, ladies and gentlemen. Needs volume. AIO needs volume to break the descending wedge and the VWAP. All right. And honestly, it's Robo AI Inc. That's the name of the company. Man, you know what? You know what that reminds me of, ladies and gentlemen? I used to have, I still do actually have it. There is a robot dog. There are robot dogs, right? And they're like little, I think it's called Aibo or something, AIBO. That was the name of the dog. Not a ticker, it's a dog, right? Little robot dog. He just goes, arr, arr, and he just like, like does little like dog moves, little dog movements, and even claps his little paws. And it's like, oh, I mean, you're not as cute as an actual puppy, but still, you're pretty cute. You know what I mean? Yeah, adorable. And I got one friend of mine who has like a bunch of those. He's like, you know what? They said I wasn't allowed to have dogs. They never say anything about robot dogs. So now my buddy just has a bunch of robot dogs hanging around his apartment, just walking around, and then they're just like, and they're just walking around. They're doing their little thing, and I'm just sitting there like, bro, how many of these do you have? Better yet, how much do you spend on batteries, my guy? What? It's like, oh no, it's fine, it's fine. I'm like, really? So what do you call them? He's like, well, this one's Steve. I'm like, what do you mean, Steve? You don't name a dog Steve, bro. He's like, hey, I named the dog. This one's Steve. This one's Jeffrey. This one's Jeremy. This one's John. And this one is Pip. I'm like, who? Pip. Oh, okay. Just had a bunch of random robot dogs walking around. His landlord came in one day, from what I heard. He said she came in there. She's like, I heard there was noise complaints about a dog. I'm like, and he's just sitting there playing with his robot dog. He's like, nah, I mean, you mean these dogs? These my puppies. These my puppy dogs. And the neighbor, and literally the landlord looked at him, looked at the dogs, looked at him, looked at the robot dogs, and then said, all right, touche. Backed away. Literally backed away. Backed out the door. Said, all right, touche. All right, touche. Hey, they said no pets allowed. They never said nothing about robot dogs. Never said nothing about that. All right. All right. Ooh, QNRX. QNRX. Let's take a look. All right. Let's see here. QNRX currently testing the high. Oh, it's trying to go test the high a day, but right now it's testing a resistance point at 1414. So QNRX, breaking through resistance right now. QNRX trying to break through resistance off the cup and handle method there. Yeesh. So we got that going on right there. Currently on the uptrend though. QNRX currently on the uptrend. Up 78%. 78% right there. All right. All right. Let's see. Let's get a share party going on, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Share party, share party, share party. All right. QNRX currently still on the uptrend right now. Needs to remain friends with the trend. Needs to break above that 1414 resistance line. Needs to break above that 1601 resistance line. And currently has to hold above 1298 for it to be somewhat schmexy to mya. Yeesh. Alrighty. Alrighty. Let's see what other stonks we got going on here. What other stonks we got? Let's take a look. All right. And ladies and gentlemen, by the way, just so you guys know, because it is Veterans Day and it is a national holiday, volume might be a little low in my opinion, a little low. So got that going on as well, ladies and gentlemen. You got that going on. So right now, QNRX is currently on the uptrend, needs to kind of break above the 1414 mark and then break above the 1601 mark for it to be somewhat schmexy to mya. So that's what we got going on, folks. That is what we got going on with this stunk. What else we got? And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to check out our 4-day trial for the real-time alerts and scanners for only $9.99. Link to join us in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section. So be sure to check that out. We pick a lot of baggers a lot of times. We are just made different. And the early bird gets the cash. The moolah, the roots, the cashola, the big bucks, I tell you. Yeesh. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, as of now, QNRX is still trying to test that high a day. We shall see what happens here. Let's get a share party going on. Share party. Let's get to CYCU. How about CYCU? CYCU currently needs to break above that this little downtrend over here, and it looks like it did try to break above it. So we'll see what happens there. We shall see. All right. Let's see what else we got here. So CYCU still needs to break that broke above the downtrend, needs to break the VWAP right now. CYCU curling off the downtrend. There we go. Needs to break above that for it to be somewhat schmexy to meow. Let's see what else we got. Let me at him. All right. Just stretching out a little bit. Ooh. All right. There we go. So, as of now, currently, let's take a look at QNRX. QNRX on the uptrend right now. On the uptrend, baby. Little bit on the uptrend, but right now it's trying to hold above that 1414 mark. So QNRX still needs to remain friends with the trend, still trying to climb its way on up. QNRX still needs to remain friends with the trend and climb, baby, climb. Needs to climb, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, sir. All right. So, what are the stonks we got here? Let's see what else we got. All right, we already checked MSPR, QNRX. Let's take a look at SRDX. Let's take a look over here. Ooh, very, very choppy and consolidated along the VWAP. Not looking too schmexy. SRDX, very choppy. And consolidated. Very choppy and consolidated. along the VWAP. So we got that going on right there. So that's what we got going on right there. That is what we got going on. SRDX, very choppy and consolidated along the VWAP. Very, 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 very consolidated and choppy. So, not feeling too schmexy. RAIN, somebody, all right, that one seems to be moving in a little bit. RAIN, very, very choppy. Oh my, QNRX, oh my, oh my.
It's pushing.
All right, all right. All right, there we go. Let's see how QNRX is doing. QNRX, all right, still trying to climb, ladies and gentlemen. Still climbing a little bit. All right, let's see what else we got, ladies and gentlemen. What else we got? All right, let's take a look at QNRX still trying to climb its way on up a little bit. Still trying to climb its way on up. We shall see what happens. BODI. Let's take a look at BODI. BODI. All right, as of now, BODI is still somewhat consolidated right now. Still somewhat consolidated. Needs to break above this pennant and then break above Piccolo.
Rain is moving.
Rain? Really?
Ionization technology begins operations of first U.S. installation following approval of weather modification.
It didn't have much volume.
State of Colorado.
All right, didn't have much volume, but okay, I'll check it again. I'll check it again.
That's the story.
Yeah, needs to break the descending wedge. That's what BODI needs to do. RAIN. All right. Rain up 49%. Climbing up a little bit. There we go. All right. Moving up on some low volume. Rain. It's raining. Moving up on low volume. RAIN. Let's see what else they got. What else they got in terms of news. All right. So rain enhancements. WETA ionization technology begins operations of first U.S. installation following approval of weather modification permit from the state of Colorado's Water Conservation Board. So they got that going on right there. Rain up 82%. 82% right now. Oh my, 100% right there. New bagger, RAIN. RAIN, ladies and gentlemen, new bagger of the day. Still climbing right now. Still climbing. RAIN, still climbing, baby. Up 114% now. Up 114. 114. That was the high that they put it at right there. Yes, sir. All right. So, RAIN hit a high of 114%. New bagger. RAIN. New bagger. Up 114% right there. Up 114%. There we go. Got that going on. All right. Boom. RAIN. Let's get a share party going on. Let's get to 2,300. 2,300, ladies and gentlemen. RAIN, new bagger, up 114%. RAIN, bop right there. All right. So, yeesh. All right. Let's see what else we got over here. What else do we have? All right. RAIN hit that high nicely. And now, currently, it is moving up. It moved up to 114% and then went back down. So, that's what it's got going on right now. That's what's got going on. RAIN. Let's see what else we got over here. MSPR. Let's see how MSPR is doing. MSPR. All right. MSPR currently above the VWAP right now. Consolidated a little bit below the VWAP right now. So we'll see what goes on there. Right now, it just broke above the pennant right over Mia. All right. So it broke above this little pennant right over Mia. Boom and boom. All right. It looks like it's trying to like remain somewhat friends with the trend right now because it is curling its way on up right now. Curling its way on up. MSPR up 94% right now. Can it break through? Can it become another bagger, ladies and gentlemen? Can it become another bagger? We are 9 minutes away from the bell. The bell. It deafens me. MSPR. MSPR needs to remain friends with that trend, though. MSPR curled off the pennant. All right. Needs volume. For it to be somewhat schmexy to meow. All right. So, as of now, MSPR currently up 92%. Can it break 100? Let's see if it can break 100. Yeesh. So, let's see what it can do there. We shall see. Right now, though, it is currently above the VWAPA. It is above the VWAPA. So we got that going on right there, folks. That is what we got going on. All right. Let's get a share party going. Let's get to 2,400. 2,400. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Come on now. All right. Okay. Let's see what else we got over here. What other stunks do we got going on here? All right. Climbing its way on up a little bit is MSPR. 94% now. Come on now. Come on. All right. So we shall see what happens here. Let's take a look at MSPRs. Yeah, no, it's on the uptrend right now. It's just on the uptrend. It's just chilling right now. Currently, MSPR is just chilling right now. MSP Recovery Inc., Class A common stock, just chilling right now. So it's just doing its thing right there. So that's what we got going on there, folks. That is what we got going on. What else we got? What else we got over here? What else we got? Let's see. All right. Let's see. We got over here. Let's see what else we got. Somebody requested GLTO again. Let's take a look at GLTO. GLTO currently down there is down there right now. Down there. All right.
Got a request from ZENA.
ZENA. All right. Let me just put this up here. All right. That GLTO still needs to break that VWAP. And then after that, we will do ZENA. GLTO needs to break the VWAP. And then let's get ZENA up. Xenatech, common stonk right there. All right. Currently, Xenatech is moving up a little bit. Hello, DVL moms. Hello. All right. So currently, it's doing its thing right there. All right. Xenatech currently up with a pennant right now. Needs to break above the VWAP. It is below the VWAP. Needs to break that pennant, but needs to break that VWAP as well. So we got that going on. ZENA, ZENA, needs to break the pennant and the VWAPA for it to be somewhat schmexy to Mia. Let's get some support and resistance lines on it. Let's get support and resistance lines on it right here. Let's get a ship party. Let's get to 2,500. 2,500, ladies and gentlemen. Come on now. Let's get to 2,500 right here. All right. So currently, as of now, support is at the $4.35 mark, $4.35. And then, of course, it's got support at 445. Then after that, 458. Then after that, 478. Those are all support lines for the stonk. So that's what we got going on right there. That is what we got going on. Xena currently needs to break above that pennant and needs to break above that VWAP. So that's what it's got going on right there. All right. So Xena, ZENA, ENA needs to break the pennant and the VWAPA for it to be so much maxi to mya. All right, there we go. All right, so that's what we got going on there. Has to break above 445, 458, and 478 for it to be somewhat interesting and somewhat schmexy to mya. So that's what we got going on. Let's see how MSPR is doing. How's MSPR doing? Up 96% right now. Come on now. It's slowly moving up there. Slowly. It is like teasing everybody. It's just teasing everybody. 98% right there. MSPR 98%. Come on now. It keeps teasing us, man. It's just chilling there, 98%. And then it goes back down a little bit. And then it goes back up. And you're like, oh, it can it be new bagger? And then all of a sudden it's like, no, it just goes back. It's like, come on, man. Come on now. Come on now. Don't hate on me. Don't hate on me because I'm beautiful. Come on now. All right. Don't hate on me. Come on. All right. But as of now, MSPR is up 95%, was up 98%. And yeah, that's pretty much what we got going on here for this one. MSPR needs to break above basically the resistance line, really. It needs to break above that. It needs to break above that for it to really be the resistance. Or, well, actually, just, all that. You know what I mean? So right now, it's MSPR is just, doing its thing right now. Doing its thing. We shall see what happens. We shall see what happens. QNRX. Let's see how QNRX is doing. All right. QNRX currently fell down. Oh, no. Fell below the VWAP. All right. MSPR. Excuse me. QNRX needs to break the pennant and the VWAP now. QNRX needs to break the pennant and the VWAPA for it to be so much maxi to mya. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We got that going on right there. That is what we got going on. All right. Let's see what other stocks we got here. What other stocks we got going on? What other stocks we got? All right. So somebody requested BBAI. BBAI, as of now, trying to curl up slightly a little bit. Currently up 21%. Has news over here. So let me actually get this over here. Has a bit of an ABCD pattern formed over here. So you had an A to B, B to C, C to D, and boom. That's it. That's what you got. That is what we got going on over there. That is what we got going on. So BBAI currently up and on a nice little ABCD pattern going on there. So we got that going on. I'm going to post that up there. BBAI on an ABCD pattern. Yeesh. Needs to break that. Just needs to keep curling upward for it to be somewhat schmexy to mya. But BBAI, also known as Big Bear AI Inc., common stock, has news that Big Bear shares are trading higher after the company reported better than expected Q3 financial results and announced the acquisition of Ask Sage. So really had an acquisition. The bell! Yeesh! The bell! Let's see how MSPR is doing in the meantime then, because now it has no excuse. MSPR has no excuse to tease me. Yes! It is a new bagger. Yes, sir! MSPR 110%. Yes, sir! 111% right there. Yes, sir! All right. 111% right there. Come on now. Can I continue? All right. Let's see. We can do. Yeah, no, it's still going up. It's still going up. It's still going up. MSPR, new. Hold on, let me put this up here. MSPR, new bagger of the day, up 111% right there. Up 111%. There we go. All right. MSPR, boom, right there. All right. MSPR up 111%. 111%. All right, let's see what else we got here. MSPR currently shot up nicely up to 111%. 111%. Need to write that down. Actually, that MSPR is now a bagger. MSPR, new bagger. New bagger up 114%, ladies and gentlemen. 114%. Yeesh. New high, though. It has a new high now. Pretty sure. Let me take a look here. Let me take a look. See. All right. So, has to break above 68. Has to hold above 59 for it to be so much maxi to me. Let's take a look at LPSN. LPSN. Let's see what we're doing here. Just keeping an eye out right now. Just keeping an eye out and staying vigilant right now for LPSN. Currently, LPSN on a bit of a climb, a slight climb on low volume right here. So right now, LPSN, Right now it's looking right. I mean, LPSN is on a bit of an uptrend, but has some low volume. So LPSN, slight uptrend on low volume. So we got that going on right there. Yes, yes, and yes. All right. LPSN. All right. So, yeah, that's what we got going on right there. LPSN currently, doing well. Climbing its way on up. Major price spike just now, LPSN. Major price spike. It just shot up to $7.10. Let's see what goes on here. LPSN price spike on low volume. LPSN price spike on low volume. So we got that going on right there. Yeesh. All right. Let's see what other stunk we got. Somebody requested DHAI. Let's take a look at DHAI. All right. DHAI, not a lot of volume. Needs volume to break the VWAP. And yeah, pretty much that's what we got going on for DHAI. DHAI needs volume to break the VWAP for it to be so much maxi to me. All right. There we go. That's some good water. All right. So, DHAI currently, as of now, doesn't have much volume. Not very interesting right now. Let's get a share party going on. Let's get to 2,900. But as of now, DHAI, not very schmexy. Not schmexy to me. Not schmexy at all. So, we'll see what happens there. We shall see what happens. All right. Let's take a look at RANI. All right. RANI had a little bit of an uptrend on low volume over here. Clear as day, uptrend on low volume. Don't really trust this stock too much, but it does have an uptrend on low volume, so I'll give it that. Currently up 6%. RANI uptrend on low volume. There we go. Boom, right there. Yeesh. And ladies and gentlemen, let's get a share party going on. Let's get to 2,900. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to check out our 4-day trial for our real-time alerts and scanners for only $9.99. Link to join us in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section. So be sure to check that out. We pick a lot of baggers a lot of times. We are just made different, and the early bird gets the cash. Ladies and gentlemen, we already called 2 baggers on stream. 2 baggers. All right. So we called over here RAIN up 114%, MSPR up 114% as well. So we got that going on right there. All right. So yeah, that's what we got going on. RANI currently needs to keep remaining friends with the trend for it to be somewhat interesting and somewhat schmexy to everybody else. So, ish. All right. So as of now, we got 2 stocks that moved upward. Also, ladies and gentlemen, when you get the real-time alerts of the scanners, you get access to this amazing scanner with all the percentage changes, whether the stock is moving up and down, ticker, price, volume, and float, as well as hyperlinks that lead to the charts and everything else that I've just described and more. You could check that out by joining us. So yeah, you get access to that amazing market mover scanner. You get access to the newsroom, which gives you all sorts of news that is excellent for research, excellent for traders, excellent for research there as well. All right. And to top it off, you also get access to an amazing community of wonderful people, all of which were very, very supportive, very, very kind, very, 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 very sweet people. All right. Much love, to the community. Much love to the community because they are amazing. So, yeah, be sure to check it out, man. You get access to an amazing community like that. Hey, who could say no? Come on, right? Right? Let's take a look over here. Let's get a share party going on. Let's get the 3,000 right there. All right. Let's see what we got going on here. So as of now, currently RANI is a little bit up, but kind of down. All right. So that's what we got going on for that. All right, let's take a look at VSCE. VSCE, let's see how VSCE is doing. VSCE currently needs to break above the pennant right now. It needs to break above the pennant right there. All right, it needs to break above this pennant for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. VSCE currently was below the VWAP, now broke above the VWAP a little bit. So VSCE broke above. Oh, hold on. Broke above. Oh my. On. VSCE broke above the VWAP, needs to break the pennant for it to be somewhat schmexy to me. All right. Let's see here. So, MSPR currently now up 100%. How's MSPR doing? Let's take a look. Let's take a look and see how it's doing right there. We'll see what it's doing right there. All right. Let's see. Boom. All right. So, let's see. MSPR currently still on a slight uptrend right now, up 104%. All right. Still doing good. Still doing good right there. Climbing its way on up 106%, 109%. Has to break through the high of 114%. All right. And yeah. So, yeah, that's what we got going on so far with MSPR. Currently trying to test the new high. All right. So, yeah. We got shit going on there. We got that going on right there. All right. Let's get a share party going on. Let's get to 3,000. 3,000, ladies and gentlemen, 3,000. We're just taking a look at the stock market right now. Keeping an eye on everything. All right. All right, so MSPR currently up 107, still climbing its way on up, watching it right now. All right. So as of now, let's get a share party going on. Let's get to let's get to 3100. Let's get to 3100. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to check out the Wealth Builders package, which gives you access to everything the real-time alerts and scanners package does, plus exclusive access to Coach Nick Money and myself. You get access to our amazing educational content. You get access to our amazing charts and all sorts of other cool stuff, exclusive content that's educational, exclusive content and exclusive picks, and of course, just live access to Coach Nick Money and myself. So that's what we got going on there, ladies and gentlemen. That is what we got going on. All right. So right now, that's what we have going on there. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as well as ring that bell icon to stay notified when new videos are uploaded. And remember to share, because sharing is caring, ladies and gentlemen. Sharing is caring. And of course, if you want access to our private Discord, link to join us in the description down below, as well as the pinned comment section. So be sure to check that out. We pick a lot of baggers a lot of times. Now MSPR is up 117. We are just made different, and the early bird gets the cash. Yeesh. So that's what we got going on, folks. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to check out our series. That is our next stream that is coming up at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Ladies and gents, it's coming up at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So it is called Power Plays. It is hosted by the legend himself, Coach Nick Money, in the house. All right. It's hosted by him. All right. And basically, it takes two little aspects. It takes the power from the power hour. It takes a look at stocks just before they go into the power hour. And it also takes into account playing. Ish. So basically, what Coach does when the stonks need some time to simmer, he basically plays some Fortnite with y'all. And he basically does a pretty good job because he's cracked. He's cracked at the game. All right. So, that's pretty much it, ladies and gentlemen. So be sure to check that out. Be sure to check us out on our YouTube. And be sure to keep our notifications on. Like, comment, subscribe. Ring that bell icon to stay notified when new videos are uploaded. And remember to share, because that'll keep you notified when new stuff is uploaded, be it live streams, be it videos, all sorts of other cool stuff. So be sure to check us out on YouTube at Coach Nick Money, at Coach Nick Money. Yes, and of course, be sure to check us out on X.com, aka Twitter, at Coach Nick Money. At Coach Nick Money. You can find us there doing all sorts of stock analysis, stock reviews, etc. You can find us on the Twitch at Coach Nick Money. That's where we do lots of live streaming, as well as the YouTube and, Yish. So we got that going on there. And then also, ladies and gentlemen, you can find us on excuse me, I said that already. Facebook, Instagram, and Threads at Coach Nick Money. At Coach Nick Money. You can find us on TikTok, Tiki-Taki, a.k.a. the Tac, yes. You can find us there at DBL Nicks, at DBL NICKS, and the screen name is Coach Nick Money. Let me get this water in me real quick, because MSPR is now up 123%. Now that I do the outro, now MSPR wants to go, oh yeah, let's go. MSPR up 125% now. MSPR. Let me take a look over here. Yeesh. MSPR needs to, all right, up. New high. Up 127%. New high up 127% right there. So that's what we got going on there, folks. So, I'm going to keep an eye on MSPR for a little while longer, right there. And then after that, I'm going to do my thing. Ladies and gentlemen. So, yeesh. Much love, ladies and gentlemen. Keeping an eye on it right now. Just keeping an eye on it. Wait, let me try doing the outro again, see if that does anything. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to... All right. Did it do anything? Come on now. Come on now. Because normally when I do the outro now all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, 127. Okay, wait, all right, that's fine. All right, don't worry about it. It's okay. It's okay. You don't like me. You don't like me. It's fine. It's fine. Don't hate on me. MSPR is hating on me. Mean, very mean. Nah. All right. So, I think that's pretty much it so far. Looks like MSPR is trying to test the high of day. So, we'll see what happens with that. But, ladies and gentlemen, much love. I'll see you guys soon. It's DBL Nix. I love you guys. And I am here with the lovely Serengeti specialist herself. She likes to hang around the tall weeds, the high trees, the low seas, hitting them high knees. Sometimes she likes 2 cups of coffee. Other times she likes to jet ski. Sometimes she likes to get shot at the cannon. And she goes, wee! Other times she likes to go to Arby's and watch videos of puppies and kitties and do all sorts of other cool stuff like that. And also likes to steal my lo mein and go into the stock market, find them stonks that go with the ABCDs like MSPR, SRDX, QNRX, and BAIG. We call her DBL Moms. Hey! Yes. All right. So that's what we got going on. And MSPR is now moving 130 because, of course, I continue to do the outro and now it wants to move 130. And yeah, that's pretty much what we got going on. Yeah. That's what we got going on. Yeah. So MSPR now 130. I'm just going to put that up there. And then I'm going to head out, ladies and gentlemen. And unless it wants to keep going, in which case, I'm going to stick around a little bit, MSPR, new high a day. New high a day. Up 130%. 130%. There we go. And yeah, that's pretty much it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for me. Much love. It's Double Nix. I love you guys. And I'm out. Peace. Bye-bye. 21 ounces. Had one too. Yeah, man. It's Double Nix. I love you guys. I'll see you later. Be sure to tune in to Power Plays at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be sure to check that out, ladies and gentlemen. That is going to be on YouTube, X.com, and Twitch. You had one? Well, yeah, I said X.com. Yes, I said X.com. Yes. Tony One says I had one. Oh, you had like a stonk? Did you have a stonk that you want me to check out before I go? Because I could check it out. I could check it out before I head out. That's fine. I can do that. Yeah, I could check that out. If you got one. All right. So we gonna chill here for a little bit. And keep an eye on MSPR, which hates me. All right. So yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, just gonna chill here for another minute or so. All right. Because if Tony got another stonk, I'm gonna take a look at that stonk and then I'm gonna do my thing. You know what I mean? Do my thing. All right. All right. Oh my. All right. As of now. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, much love, everybody. Take care of yourselves. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. I hope you guys make a lot of money. Be greenable. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, you are indelibles. Leave your mark, ladies and gentlemen. Leave your mark. All right? Because you are indelibles. You are irreplaceable. You are one of a kind. Be a good person. Do good things. Happy Veterans Day. If you know of, any veterans in need or anything like that, be sure to give them a helpful day. I'll see you guys in a couple of hours for Power Plays. All right.